let's say currently the time is to invite Goda Saab, industry veteran, and very inspiring story, I would say. We had the pleasure of having a meeting with him and discussion with him last week before we invited him for this panel, today's panel discussion, and the kind of insights we got both on the professional front and also on the life, I would say, the quality and value system. It was memorable 2 hours with him, which is worth probably more than 2 decades. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your experience, your insights. I'm sure all of us are eagerly waiting to listen to you. Before that, let me have the honor of formally adding few words of your achievements. Mr. Premchand Goda is a first generation entrepreneur having 5 decades of very solid experience, of which initial 5 years he practiced as chartered accountants, and the rest, of course, we know the legacy which he has created. And particularly in today's context where we are talking of pharma, APIs, intermediates, I think Ipca Laboratories is one such organization which has adopted a kind of integrated model, and I'm sure Goda Saab will cover a lot of points in terms of desirable business model, in terms of how do we integrate, how do we achieve scale. Hailing from a small village in Rajasthan, Godaji belongs to actually a farming family, if I can say so. And after gaining his bachelor's in commerce, he came to Mumbai in the year 1966 to pursue chartered accountancy, and successfully cleared, of course, the chartered accountancy. And he got in touch with the superstar Amitabh Bachchan's family, started Ipca from scratch. I think it was a shut plant. And one of the points which we often discuss, that in India we have a lot of plants which are shut. So I think Ipca is a very right kind of example, role model, that how shut plant can be revived and can be taken to as high as $4 billion multinational conglomerate. And today he's managing the group with his family members and professional team. His 2 sons, Pranay and Prashant, are also involved in Ipca. And Ipca exports to more than 100 countries and employs over 13,000 people. Of course, needs no introduction. So without spending too much of time, thank you so very much, Godaji, for being with us and listening very, calmly and coolly to the entire discussion. I'm sure you will have a lot of points add. I will once again warmly welcome on behalf of each of the panel members and all the participants and entire team of Pantomath and Pharmexil and Gobgini. And I would request you to kindly share your journey. I think that will be, there'll be a lot of points to learn out of your journey in terms of, I think from a 30 or 300 rupees, if I remember that started your career with, from there to a $4 billion journey, how you covered that journey. And I'm sure from there, if you can connect to some of the industry specific issues. So the floor is all yours, sir. Warm welcome once again, and over to you.
Thank you, Mahavirji. You are able to hear me?
Yes, yes, very clear, sir. Please.
Great, great. Good morning, everybody. I will mention, let us say, a couple of points of my life, which will encourage to the all young people who are participating today. I am from a very small village. There was no school. So I studied up to 5th standard with my various relatives. I can call it Bua, Chacha, Mosi, Mama. हर साल मैं घर बदलता गया और ऐसे मेरी प्राइमरी एजुकेशन हुई. उसके बाद में मिडिल ऑनवर्ड्स आई वाज इन हॉस्टल्स. आई एम फ्रॉम हिंदी मीडियम अप टू ग्रेजुएशन. graduation I did from Ajmer, that is in Rajasthan, and moved to Mumbai to do CA. Just to mention, I was a very, I will call it not a good student during my college life. First year I passed with grace. Second year also I passed with grace. And third year I failed in one subject. So I passed with the supplementary. By the way, one negative, which is the most positive of my life, I got engaged during my second year. And when I moved to Mumbai, without intimation to my elder brother and my parents, just to do CA course. And I could not get the admission because my college education, the records were very bad. So I accepted at that time as an audit clerk, which was the course of 6 years to do CA. And went back to my village during Diwali of 1966. It was very difficult time which I saw for 15 days, where my parents were not agreeing to support me financially for my further studies. It was a very tough time, but somehow or other my elder brothers supported, and I came back to Mumbai, and the journey started of doing my CA. So one condition was there, that you have to get married immediately. And I agreed for that condition. And I requested my parents, just to intimate me, I will come here for the marriage. And this happened in just in 4 months' time, that is in February 67, I got married. And then study continued. I was lucky to pass. I will say it is a good luck of my wife that I could pass CA in spite of such a bad graduation period and in the medium. So I could pass in 71 and started my practice straight away. One of my part-time during my student life was, first part-time was just 1 rupee a day, that is 30 rupees a month. And that was a good experience. I did several part-times during my student life to support the gap between my brother who was sending the money and the required for Bombay City. So that is how the journey started. I did practice in all taxation, sales tax, income tax, and that is how I gained the knowledge about various taxation and about the businesses. One of my clients were Bachchan family, and that is how I know the Bachchans from 1973. In 75, this IPCA was offered by a banker, which was a sick unit and which was assessed by one business family, but could not move forward. And the papers were referred. So I referred to my clients that somebody should buy. It's a good business, even though it was a very small business of 50 lakh of rupees in a yearly business. And one of the family which took interest that even though they didn't have the money, but as you say, it should be a good business. Let us look into it. And it was Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, brother of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. He moved forward, but at that time, Amitabh Bachchan was already popular after the release of Sholay and Diwar, one of the biggest hits of 75. And they said, we have no time, so somebody should work. And that is how the offer came to me and my another friend, Mr. Chandurkar, that you people take interest to do full-time job in the company. Probably we can take interest. So we discussed amongst ourselves and just took a risk that, okay, we will join with you at a conditions, which was at that time 25, 50% share. And we too will work and contribute to the capital whenever it is possible. And that is how the journey started. It was a very tough time during 76 and 77. We lost heavily in those days when our turnover itself was around 50 lakh. But 78 onwards, IPCA has never looked back. only first time we had a setback in 2014 when American FDA gave us the warning and import alert. Till that time, we were continuously growing non-stop. So this is my background. As far as pharma industry is concerned, I will just narrate a little bit about the whole world. That today, number one company is Pfizer, number two is Novartis, and three is Roche. Out of these three, only one company is very serious on generic business, that is Novartis through their Sandoz. They're the largest, when we call it countries, US is number one, number two China, and number three is India. So we are very well placed as far as the numbers are concerned. China is the biggest leader as far as the API and intermediates are concerned. And that is what the subject which we have to discuss more about today. So our reliance, as all of the panelists have talked and very well informed by Mahavirji about what is the dependence. So keeping in mind that China's dependency has to be reduced, not just thinking of India, government of India, but also I think as on date, European countries as well as America and all major countries are thinking to reduce the dependence on China directly or indirectly. So this is one thing which is emerging very well. And India itself is a growing as far as medicine requirement is concerned, keeping our population and continuous per capita growth. So I will take now Indian companies, a situation where how we became big today in generic business. Some of you may be remembering that in 70, there was a law that any company which is moving from small scale to medium scale or large scale has to be backward integrated to produce API, at least 10% of their turnover. And that is how all bigger companies today have entered into API, because it was a compulsion from government point of view. So all growing companies became also integrated through API. So today, the companies which are very big, let us say starting from Sun Pharma to Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, some of the companies grew through formulations, some of the companies grew through API. So the growth took place through API route was Dr. Reddy's laboratories, then Aurobindo, Hetero Drugs. These are the three very big companies who started their career in API. Currently, the companies which are growing is Laurus and company like Natco, who were in API and entered into formulation business too. So we have to understand that what has happened with international big companies, which are generic companies, is Teva, Sandoz, and Mylan. Teva was one of the company which had a backward integration from years, whereas Sandoz has not taken that seriously initially. Mylan also became serious after taking over Matrix. So these companies became big again at backward integration, which was there in India to start with, and some of them are having now in China also. So API became very important for the purpose of generic competition world over. So unless you are very good in API, you cannot be competitive in generic business to start with, whether it is in US or whether it is in Europe. China, particularly Japan, is not so serious because the pricing are very high there. So the value which they give for API also quite good prices. But let us say if you are to grow, one has to keep always US in mind, US and Europe. So in India particularly, only formulation companies who are not serious about the API were, let us say, a company which has become very big and very good was Mankind, who are not so serious about API. Then Elchem, Aristo, and Intas. These are a few companies which are large companies which are not serious in the API, and they are not currently also. I don't think they have a big thoughts about API. That is what the information which I gather. The API company which became very prominent today and which we can see in the share market also is Dr. Divi's Laboratories. And Divi's are very clear that they are not going to enter into formulation business. And that is how they could have the relationship with several multinational companies as well as bigger generic companies, keeping in mind that they will not compete with them in generic business. Whereas all other companies are having their own API backward integration, and some of them are with intermediates, which are the key APIs for them. So there is a different kind of model which is working in our country: specialization only in formulations, specialization only in API. Then companies which are bigger and which will become bigger, who are integrated. That is, they think that they should be very competitive all over the world in API as well as in generic. So they will have to think about some APIs where they are very well integrated. So I feel that the companies like, let us say, Cipla, companies like Dr. Reddy, Hetero, Aurobindo will grow more and more in times to come, because they will be getting more and more backward integrated in terms of, or will get associated with the companies who can supply them intermediates. Because the serious business for India is not just only API, but as it has been mentioned, that intermediates are equally important, or I will say with today's context, intermediates are more important than API. Only API, there is a dependency of fermentation is very, very high. And there are two intermediates which are for metformin and paracetamol, where our dependency is very high. And so far we don't have the very good technology. So if these two groups are addressed, other APIs are not so important for India. It can be developed very fast, and the quantities can be addressed, can be very easily addressed throughout. So it has to be understood by all association leaders here and by the government that when we are to grow in API various numbers, because they are in thousands, and intermediates will be more in numbers in terms of each API has a lot of intermediates, and there are solvents, not only just intermediates, but solvents are equally important. So how do we really take care of all three sectors, not only formulation, but API as well as intermediates? There has to be a revised government thinking in terms of intermediates, how to grow that and create interest in the general public, that the dependency has to be reduced from China, either through, we can call it where there are already producers, to give protection to them, either increased custom duty, or we can call it an anti-dumping duty, or some incentives, or some, wherever there are more manufacturers, there can be a thinking about ban on imports of certain intermediates and certain APIs. So there has to be a mixed thinking instead of just giving an incentive on number of products where it is a high dependency. That policy which has started was a good policy, that highest dependence has to be addressed first and then all. But what I say is, if you are to remain competitive all over the world about your supplies of formulation, you will have to think much bigger than just those 50 drugs. Because every drug becomes important. Like anti-diabetic drugs, hardly other than metformin, it has not been considered other drugs which can be manufactured, and there are so many new drugs which has come, which is to be also taken care in future when they become generic. So these are not just numbers, but the dependency has to be reduced on intermediates as well as API. The companies which will have their different policies, which are to be dependent on their partners, small partners, to grow API as well as intermediates. So these are my thinking, where we industry people will have to make certain strategies. I will call it strategies, how we grow internationally, that is global market. The incentives which has been given only for domestic market will not help to have much bigger. It is only going to protect our domestic, whereas to compete in the global market, we will have to think much bigger capacities, because 50% of the consumption is in US. China is equally becoming bigger and bigger, and we should not think that China will be competitive in all APIs and intermediates. Even India, we are exporting a lot of products to China. So China will also buy in times to come when it is economical. Indian products are economical. So future will be depending upon not only chemical technology, but also the technology which is to be adopted in terms of production, where it is automation, or what is being talked in other countries is a continuous manufacturing facility has to be created for larger production. So current technological changes will also take place from current situation. So it is not just only chemistry. In API to be very competitive, or intermediates to be very competitive, one has to address continuously to upgrade, to change their technology, whereas it is not possible in formulation on day-to-day basis. So if you are not competitive, you really do not know who is taking over your business. So the dependency by bigger companies on their partners, which are smaller in size, will have to be keeping in mind that they will upgrade their technologies continuously. So I feel that API and intermediate, the people who are going to start their business or who are very small today and wants to grow, one has to plan keeping in mind that what should be their path. Are they going to remain independent throughout in API? Are they going to have the backward integration in intermediates? Are they going to be much bigger in a product or a given products? Are they going to focus on therapy groups? Are they going to, so there has to be a much more deeper thinking who wants to enter into API business or who are already in API business, that how they will become bigger to address their economics. By having a small production, I don't think you will be able to compete long term in API and intermediate business. There has to be a clear-cut understanding in everybody's mind that you will have to address the global requirements. And how do you address that? It is only quantity based, and it is also, one has to keep in mind, it's a large capital requirement. We need for installation of machines as well as it is a working capital oriented industry. It is not like formulation where there is a very high margin and you can stay for long term. So keeping very low margins in this business and high level of competition, the data are available today only of API, that how much API we are importing and how much API we are manufacturing in the country. There is no association, clear-cut association to make intermediates. There is no much data available that who is making how much intermediates and who will continuously support. So there will be some requirement with our API, particularly API association, where we generate some certain data, where Mr. Bhaskar will have to motivate the people, API association people, that how do we generate that data to support the industry, so they are not misguided. Otherwise, there will be several medium scale industries will come and they will not be able to survive long term. So data are very important, that one has to decide not just a short term but a very long term strategy in terms of API and intermediates. So that's what I feel. There are certain companies which have grown from absolutely from intermediate, or not even, I will call it a basic chemical, like one Jubilant, one company where they were making just alcohol products, product like acetic acid, and they have moved from just basic to intermediates to API and API to formulations and diversified. But there are very limited of that kind where we can refer that you can go for that kind of integrations. The future will be of focusing. The focus is very, very important, that how I will focus on a product or product groups or get associated with certain company for convincing that company that I will address the continuously the technology changes, and to be continuously how do I become economical to support the generic business, because ultimately long term is generic. Even in India, we can see maybe this branded business may remain maybe 15-20 years at least. Otherwise, it will also become generic business. China is equally growing in generic. And all countries who are buying today tender, that is tender is there even in Germany, even in UK, and most developing countries like Africa, where tender business is much bigger than branded business. So there is a big potential even in countries like Russia or even Indonesia, where generics are not there today popular, but they are going to be tomorrow, because everybody is addressing the prices of the formulations. So it will be always important that how we become most economical in terms of producing API through at least backward integration in part of the APIs where the company can feel stronger. One should not ignore that it will be very easy, because the capital intensive industry being, one has to be very careful how we want to grow. So there are, let us say, examples where companies have grown. Like you can say, there are two companies which are very good in pharma, very big, which have been supported. Initially, it started with their own capital, and they have been supported by venture capitalists. Like Mankind is one of the company which is the very big, which has become very big by support of by the venture capitalists. So venture capital is also equally important. And we say today Intas, which is, so when their market cap, when they will come in the market, I think their market cap will be around 40 to 50,000 crore and not less. So it is not that one can grow with their own money to becoming bigger. Some people do that, they don't need, but one should keep in mind that for the growth, a lot of capital will be required. So one can manage basically to start with the banking, very good banking, but then their transparency becomes very important, that you will have to be continuously transparent with your bank to support. But once at some level, if you are very clear that you want to grow in API, then you will need support from other capital, whether it is a partnership or whether it is through capital market or through venture capitalists. So one has to decide how do one wants to grow. So this is what the thought I had, that particularly intermediates will become more important to become bigger in terms of API. Future, one has to be very careful that if you are not economical, the biggest buyers, like whether you call it Teva or Sandoz or Mylan or Indian companies which are buying from you, may not continue to buy for their own growth. I will just give my company example, that before, I don't remember the year, but before Mr. Prasad sold his company to Mylan, we had a meeting in our office about some number of APIs which we developed for UK market, and requested them to support us because they were not economical and we were not able to compete in the marketplace for those formulations. And Mr. Prasad did not agree with this proposal, that I cannot reduce the prices. So what happened? That we had the, let us say, files there, but we were not marketing the product because we were buying from them. So now those kind of situations are going to remain, even they are valid today. So we are to presume that unless we are competitive, whether we will buy. So API producers will have to think like marketing to Walmart. That as long as they are competitive, the buyer will buy from them. If they are not competitive, they will be given warning that if you can't compete, I will stop buying from you. And that is the situation which is going to remain to all generic manufacturers, because they will not stay in business if API is not cheaper. So that is what one has to keep in mind for production of API, and how do the company remains competitive. That is what I think, that people should plan accordingly, and government should keep in mind that not just these bulk drugs are to be supported, because its overall drug industry has to be kept in mind. To support a drug industry to become larger and larger, where we become globally competitive, and we remain globally competitive the way we are today. Today we are because of the Chinese supplies, which are very much dependent. Tomorrow it will be our own domestic production, having so many constraints of capital cost is high, power cost is high, then environmental cost, not only cost, but also the problems which has been addressed by Yogin Bhai and Mahavirji. So this is, these are the challenges which are in front of all industries as well as the government, which will have to be addressed continuously, one by one or all together. Dr. Dua, you will have to work hard for us to convince to the government. Bhaskarji, it is important that how to convince to the government that they should not just restrict themselves for the domestic supply, but it has to be kept in mind global supplies to become economical in terms of API production, and more particularly in intermediates production. So
I'm more inspired with your journey, sir.
Jain Saab will be representing all big companies, and they are bigger companies like us. We will be ruthless to buy API if you are not competitive. So that is to be kept in mind. Not only competitive, you have to be continuous supplier without any break. Like all pharma companies today putting up their plants in US just to hedge their risk. Same way we will have also hedging our suppliers. 1, 2, 3 suppliers will be there listed. So all these factors are to be kept in mind for the future growth of the people who wants to become big in API and intermediate business. I hope I have covered most of the points.
Definitely, sir. I think you have been wonderful, and kudos to you on behalf of everyone